various teachers training programs besides representing CBSE in various national and international committees for the holistic development of education of this country. So far, Dr. Saha has edited more than 75 books which were published by the CBSE. Prior to, did I hear a clap there? 75 books of editing? And that's what he was saying. Don't forget that you're always learners. Prior to joining CBSE, he has worked at the Government Engineering College, Agartala, for more than 10 years as assistant professor and head of the computer department. Dr. Saha has handled execution of various development projects with the World Bank, the MHRD, the Ministry of Information Technology, as well as the research projects of AICTE and UGC. He has actively participated in the drafting, which is the important document that we're talking of, the National Skill Qualification Framework, or the NSQF, notified by the Government of India in 2012 and 13 respectively. He has contributed towards drafting of the credit framework for skills and education by All India Council of Technical Education. In addition, Dr. Saha has visited various universities and institutions, schools in Germany, Australia, Oman, UAE, and Singapore to understand the best practices of those countries. As I said, Dr. Saha, you are a very popular man amongst us in the CBSE board. May I request you to please join us in the session?
Good morning. All the senior management of both DPS as well as Pallavi Group, and of course the senior dignitaries from SCRT, NCRT, different university, college representative, and of course the school leaders. It is a privileged moment for me to witness, and also while Professor Jain was speaking, तो इन्होंने ground अच्छा तैयार कर दिया है. Now the topic which was assigned to me is globalizations of management and technical education. Now if I take this Ekalabya model to its other trajectory and also look into the perspective initially with the term internalizations and followed by internationalization. So how do you react? Internalization, of course, as you all are from this education fraternity, you are trying to drive every day with your own idea and capturing the student idea and creating enabling ecosystems altogether. Now, if I talk about internationalization, then definitely that is also happening, because I have seen the good number of experts are from a different country. Now, that is the primary things of understanding the others model. So, Shudhaji was mentioning that the Finnish systems of education, uska upar bhi some expert had spoken yesterday. Some university professors from China and other countries are also very much here. Now, when it is a selective pockets, inclusions of selective pockets from one country is working with the other country, then the perspective of internationalizations happen. Now, that way, the primary objective of two institutions backed with the two government policy. Now, whenever from that basis, one way it is very easy, because the TOR for agreeing on memorandum of understanding or what kind of education model a country, the giver country, or of course in terms of joint consumer country, is going to act upon. On the contrary, if we look into the receiving sides are also emitting a new mode of learning. For whom? For the giver. So, and that way, it's a freedom space we are making through which information flows like a river. Now, with that basis, for multiple decades, it's happening in India. So, first of all, that is one can definitely utter. Earlier, state versus state. One state university is not talking with the central university, but very happy to work with a university of neighborhood country or maybe elsewhere. Similarly, there is a disjointment in terms of government-run university versus the privately managed university. Is it true or something on assumption I am speaking? Huh? So in Andhra Pradesh and in Telangana, there are multiple good universities, both technical, management, and general education. But in this kind of forum, definitely one gentleman was asking a very relevant question that in this forum, some way, by virtue of the speaker's potential, we got excited. And for momentarily, our hormone gives some kind of energy to our brain to think with the speaker's light. But whenever we went back to or go back to our original situation, the inertia remains as it is. So, it's very easy to say, embrace change. But करेगा कौन? हाँ? तो हम ही लोगों को ही करना है. So first of all, before laying the foundations of globalization, let us look into a use case model of localized cohort. सरकार बोलते हैं ना, local to vocal, vocal to global. So that way, we can primarily aim for the globalization. So this is my first point. The second point would be how to do it. Can we think of a cohort where university, irrespective of its tagline, private, government, central, ISO 9000, NAC accredited A++, or not yet applied, and how the local infrastructures can be extended. As I am representing a school board, I will definitely, my wish list or my ask should be towards that. How it can be connected with local to school. What would be the incentive? Private colleges are spending more than crore in their advertisement, and they are putting many management agents, unlike, I'll spell after, my third point would be how the globalization's message is coming in India. So they are spending huge amount. Instead of spending, you spend. But the effectiveness of so-called expenditure, how it is suiting the need, means at the end of this is the admission session started. Abhi, the catchment areas में पूरा antenna खड़ा रहेगा. And especially these belt, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. यहाँ पे गंगा जमुना को छोड़ दिया, यह गोदावरी कृष्णा कावेरी सबको बुला रहा है, यहाँ का पानी का क्वालिटी अच्छा है. So that is very much require, first of all, convincing the neighbors. सर्टिफिकेट कौन देगा? मैं दिस इरिलेवेंट एक यूज केस बोल रहा हूं. इन केस ऑफ एनी मैट्रिमोनियल साइट्स वेरिफिकेशंस, शादी में लोकली बोथ फॉर बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स, दोनों का पेरेंट्स यूजुअली लोकल से पूछते हैं परिवार कैसा है, लड़का कैसा है, लड़की कैसा है. तो नेबर का सर्टिफिकेट जरूरी होता है ना. तो इसलिए इंस्टीट्यूट के लिए ऑल्सो, अगर नॉर्थर्न बेल्ट से कोई लोग यहाँ पे आएंगे तो मे बी सुधा जी से पूछेंगे ये कॉलेज कैसा है, क्योंकि उनको जानते हैं. सुनीता जी से पूछेंगे फोन करके, ये आपका बगल में एक अच्छा कॉलेज का एड देखा है, कैसा है, यूनिवर्सिटी नया सेटअप हुआ है, कैसा है. अगर वो बता देगा हाँ सुना है, बट you have not yet got the opportunity to interact with the management or not yet seen, to expect that kind of jawab. And that's why your infrastructure and the school infrastructure need to be aligned to suit the requirement of each other. Now here new education policy is a huge vision document. Now first step of implementing is, because higher education, my journey is a reverse journey. I used to teach in university, colleges, then now managing the school activity. So here is very easy from the upper ladder to criticize the lower ladder. And डिजॉइंट का डॉक्यूमेंट देखेंगे तो गूगल सर्च करेंगे तो देयर आर more than 1000 papers are there about the system integrations and system difference. Now how to minimize or bridge that gap? So my third point is utilizations of infrastructure optimally. Beyond 2 p.m., the huge infrastructure of DPS Nacharam is underutilized. Chairman साहब इधर है. And similarly, any good university का campus, evening 5 बजे या somewhere 4:30, और जो टीचर ज्यादा डिसिप्लिन एंड पंक्चुअल 4 बजे घर ही देखेगा. ऑफ कोर्स टैक्स सिटीज में बायोमेट्रिक अटेंडेंस थोड़ा मैंडेटरी कर दिया इसलिए, अदरवाइज हमारा जैसा नॉर्दर्न बेल्ट होगा तो बैग लेके भागो. तो ऑप्टिमली कैन वी थिंक ऑफ suiting the need of each other. One college, 2 schools. One university, 5 schools. Then the local can connect with the institute. Faculty members, admission के लिए in Delhi NCR there is a huge problem. So one can manage each other requirement. Post that there is the topic suggests that management education and technical education, which essentially the higher education counterpart is managing, school may not have that quality teacher. So you can, a special lecture session, Mr. Jain was mentioning the out of the box or out of the textbook. So project-based learning, the competency-based educations, what are being emphasized in the new education policy, it is not possible without your local participation. So that way, every day, beyond the textbooks, we can think with this kind of pattern. Now coming back to my original agenda, that globalizations, what is happening in this city? Now, there is a social changes of aspiration. जिसका पास थोड़ा डॉलर में कमाई होता है और इस बेल्ट में काफ़ी परिवार का सर्टेन परसेंटेज यूएस, and other countries में जा रहा है, तो naturally बाकी लोगों का मन में, whatever may be the reasons, there is a aspirations. Earlier in our times, for PG educations, the good number of students used to go after BTech, B, or any damn course. They used to go to the US university, Australian university. But now, many of the students are aspiring to go after 10+2. And by name of globalizations, the other countries are taking the advantage of demographic dividends present in this part of the world. So, the way private colleges in India are having a multiple agents in multiple states, similarly, name a university. There are few university in the world जो अपना एडवर्टाइज नहीं देते हैं. बाकी यूनिवर्सिटी, name a country, they are by name of International Education Fair. They are coming to India, and with whose help? Their respective embassy, the industry forum, and nobody has stopped, because here is a, without governmental intervention, a private entity in India can connect with top-most Ivy League university in USA and generate business officially. I'm not criticizing any university over there. Definitely they have a good curriculum, very research blended faculty member. Now, how to bring this quality here by name of globalization? Because in case of internationalization, there is only one or two country specific. Now, by name of globalization, there is a peer requirement evolved over a period of time, because the most of the economy seems to be managed by a good number of MNC. Now, the potential MNC's requirement of employment, although it has not been mentioned the tagline, but most of the good university get a definite campus placement or post-campus placement, the way it happened in Indian Institute of Technology or Indian Institute of Management in India. So, but they had the mechanisms of collaborations with a single country. Suppose IIT Madras, it had a collaborations with Germany. IIT Delhi, it had a collaborations with France. So that kind of nomenclature, similarly for IIM also, the culture evolved in that way. Now it is a matter of how to that model, because if you really want to look into the globalizations, then we have to understand a 3-4 model. Suppose in Europe, from Brussels-centric, certain strategy had been adopted for all European Union country, so that inter-country transfer, especially in the higher education's domain, it made very easy. But there was a linguistic barrier. It is for India, it is only when the English become a medium of instruction, we are as potentially aiming those countries. There are free education, Germany and some other, Austria. Very less expensive educations are available. But one has to know German sea level. Without that prerequisite, they cannot migrate to those countries for taking the higher studies. So if we look into the globalization's perspective in terms of English only, the medium of instruction, then is it justified? Then also we are actually catering the needs in a selective pockets. And why I am mentioning this, it is pertaining to UG level education. For PG level education, most of the developed nations is offering English medium courses. So we need to understand that basket, and looking into the perspective of Americanizations, there were a lot of freedom in terms of research development, and one way potentially bringing the global talented student to their country to pursue the PhD program or postdoc, and where the government funding is also there, and parallelly industry foundations related culture is very much tuned so far. Now for us, there is a specific industry oriented requirements are there, but institute industry interactions, it is only a model strategy which is visible in every institute. Hardly 2 to 3% engineering colleges in the country is actually doing in real terms of industry institute interactions. Now, blaming the systems is very easy. But the individual faculty member, other admin staff, if they take real initiative to connect with the local industry, MNC, and of course, any other big player, including the government managed industries and others, there is a lack of communication. So in terms of globalizations, first effort should be, I should not say it's unlearned, it's a positioning an individual so that you can communicate with the other, no matters at what level, institute, industry, or any individual social organizations is there. So with that foundations, if we write, I think then there would be a time. You write any US university a simple mail, they will respond back within 24 hours, if not in 48 hours. It is not system generated. An individual is writing. There can be a questions. We are receiving more than thousands emails. It is not every day we are receiving, any institute is receiving 1,000 emails. Over a period of time, our lethargic attitudes help us to dump the inbox like anything. So the time management is also very much essential in that respect. So considering this European model, आपको लोगों को bored लग रहा है? Huh? This is actually not my topic. थोड़ा excuse ले लेते हैं. So similarly, the Australian university took the similar path, and they are also trying to showcase their strength to the world. China, on the other hand, because like India, they also have a huge requirement, and unlike Indian, the most number of students sent by a country to the other university, it could be, if I am not wrong, China, in higher education space. And now there is a strategy to fetch the seat, especially from Canada. There is a specific algorithm is there. One student can enroll directly at grade 11 there. The potential chance of getting a good university over there would be more high than that of the others. Now these days, the SAT assessment is nullified by a good number of US universities. So that means they are looking a potential threat through SATs. Ultimately, their seats won't be going to fill up for a particular session. What it happened in case of CUT, good number of university seats are still lying vacant. I'm not criticizing, but this is the real fact of assessment strategy. So, considering all those dynamism, universities are that way is trying to put a conversations with the local partner. Now, new education policy in terms of globalizations also is given a specific window where UGC's recent circular is helping the partnering with the other universities. So-called 21st century skill, so-called your this global citizenship skill, ultimately it is the mandated requirement what World Economic Forum has emphasized. Now, with the same objective, if we want to work, then what is going to happen with our traditional systems of education delivery? Now, for a moment, let us keep this traditional versus so-called progressive. I'm trying to give another example. In case of Germany and UK, it seems to be a good education model. And it claimed to be a very good education model, Cambridge model of education, because someone yesterday was mentioning that more than 150 countries adopted it. Now, question is, if it is so good, what is the objective of education? Here in India, everybody should go to the ladder at least to the UG level. Objective. But due to certain facility and other things, we are not able to provide. Now, what is happening there? आप लोगों को मालूम है वहां पे जितना 10+2 पास आउट है क्या सारे बच्चे यूनिवर्सिटी में जाते हैं? माय क्वेश्चन इज व्हाई. थिंक ऑफ अमेरिका. अगर उन देशों का सारे बच्चा अगर यूनिवर्सिटी में जाते हैं, हमारा देश चाइना वालों के लिए, कोरिया वालों के लिए सीट रहता? तो सिस्टम्स में अगर उतना ही अच्छा है, क्यों नहीं जा रहा है? That need to be into. So globalizations could be a mantra. We need to understand their best practice and how it can be customized in the local context. As it is, copy-paste model may not work. So, especially for the management education and your technical education, in case of management education, the local problem, suppose a bridge collapsed, how to react? It is local populations and other disaster issues are there which may not be relevant, whatever curriculum understanding is there. The other crisis management. So, maybe many a times, good university here, in case of management education, they try to blindly copy the Harvard model or London School of Economics model. Will not work. We have to understand, okay, globalization's tagline, you can keep the best practices, you can, but every country has its own model of understanding. So that local context need to be mapped in the curriculum, then only you can definitely provide a good way of understanding. The fifth criteria, in case of technology education, definitely the multiple model will work because more or less it is same, only the understanding and student perspectives get changed whenever we change the demography. So here, my humble request would be more and more hybridizations can really help to promote the globalization's technique for the future.
Dr. Saha, that was a wonderful way of asking us to get associated 5 schools to 1 university, right? So we have colleges, and I think, from KG to PG, I think, we can look up. But at the same time, you're asking us to twin with the best or with our own identified colleges.
It depends. It depends the how handshake work.
Mm-hmm.
Some is if a group is running its own institute, So first of all, that collaboration should be there within its own group.
Okay.
And then also connecting with the others group. And also government institute. And how? Because the benefit of collaborations is multiple way. So government schools, students, the behavioral pattern vis-a-vis the other pattern of the private schools and college behavior, that also, and faculty can actually, from the diverse background, they can do the dynamic research.
Thank
They should
you.
get involved in multiple, because it is not only the curriculum. NEP एक बार भी curriculum का ऊपर focus नहीं कर रहे. I have seen, it's always teacher centric. And moreover, let me assure you, of secondary education, का 29,000 स्कूल में कभी भी कोई भी जाके चौकीदारी नहीं करते हैं जे आप ये कराओ, ये नहीं करना है. So there is a huge autonomy already there. And somebody raised that rules, regulation, vis-a-vis is implementation. It is always a person. Nobody from any central agency or state agency is actually, उसके पास time कहाँ है? Number one. Number two, manpower कहाँ है? हाँ, automated systems होने से आप लोगों को हो सकता है real time बहुत कुछ भरना पड़ सकता है. But आज का तारीख में, to my greater understanding, school, college, university, regulations is there, but largely it is a individual vice chancellor, individual head of the department, individual faculty, जो classroom, even head of the department to class teacher, there is a lot of gap in understanding. होता ही नहीं है. And इकट्ठा only or if some event is going to happen, then only they sit together. So the child-centric propositions के लिए, first of all, know your child, think your child campaign चलाना पड़ेगा आप लोगों को. And ये जो prescription model है, that is portfolio model. I think 5 years back also I tried to focus in this city. That is the classroom, class teacher, when transferring his or her knowledge to the next class, only a mere transcript, which has a very little information about the psychology, social strata, daily household affairs, जो class teachers को हो सकता है 30% मालूम है. He or she is not getting opportunity to transfer. So the admin cadre look into this perspective so that sharing of or transferring of individual credential. Otherwise, the new class, even 10 plus 2, 90% लेके college first year में जा रहा है. Background क्या है? Nobody knows. This is only everything works on the assumption basis. Why? AI systems or so-called AI, generative AI में some organizations can come and student registry से लेके portfolio management. Tomorrow, why you are supposed to CV लिख के interview देने का जरूरत क्या है? Everything should be there in the portfolio. देखो, पसंद आए तो पूरा domain में होगा. हाँ, पसंद आए तो लो, नहीं तो छोड़ो, बुलाओ ही मत. टेली कॉलिंग में भी पता चल जाएगा जो relevant portfolio है, whether these are evidence based or simply somebody एक essay has been scripted. That is also possible through ChatGPT. Huh? One can. But why to do that? Yeah.
Sir, I really like the terminology that you used, industry institute interactions. We at our schools, we really work on giving internship programs, especially for our grade 10, 11, and 12 students. What kind of doorways can the industry open? Because sometimes we really struggle, because today, for example, I had the Cambridge wing and children get to choose around 13 to 16 different subject combinations. Then when they want to have a experience, we really fall short of industries where they are really helping our students come on board to have that experience. So what can we look forward in such a dimension so that children actually get that opportunity?
Yes. So for school student, there is a age factor because we had discussions with, especially with multiple organizations and their association also. Now, first of all, that virtual internships is highly possible. And especially in the technology space, there is an endless option. Okay. Now, very recently, did these virtual internships on sustainability, and that too also Aditya Birla Group. And similar kind of things we can do with the other sectors also. So there are sectoral demands. Now, in case of IT-enabled service, including AI, AR, VR, there is a huge demand. Now, every small organizations, if they want to be in their digital domain, now it is a just a dialogue between an individual or an organization. So tomorrow, इस रूम में जो लोग बैठे हुए सबका एक डिजिटल आइडेंटिटी हो सकता है. Everybody may have their own blog, YouTube channel. Manage. Who will manage? Need manpower. You can put 5 students of yours to manage your social media portfolio, blogging, project-based activities, whatever you are assigning, both from the school education and higher education. Media, some policy paper, some comment you are writing on new education policy, on GST, on credit framework, anything. आपका पास समय नहीं है. You involve 5 students, उनको थोड़ा गाइड करो भाई ऐसे ऐसे बनाना है, and then you edit, and then you put the final version. So the entrepreneurial journey of the teachers घर से शुरू हो सकता है. And believe me, I met sir, who is founder of edX, vice president MIT. जब भी इंडिया में आते हैं, मैंने have idea. Can take endless course without certificate, without a single penny. So micro credential one can earn by sitting home. तो सर जैन बोल रहा है बैठे भी स्टूडेंट को all such kind of internship, the larger domain are open and we can do. And here, if it is not available, why am I insisting on local collaboration? The college faculty can generate the internship. 2 हफ्ता के लिए उनका पास समय नहीं है तो समर में 1 हफ्ता के लिए बातें तो होगा. हम तो बातें ही नहीं करने देते हैं, इसलिए we are forcing the child to always स्क्रीन का ऊपर रखे. उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी हम दे नहीं रहा है. We can create opportunity.
When we do the practical part, sir, when it comes to sciences, I have lots of people here sitting. The syllabus that we do even today, something that I have done in my CBSE 11th and 12th. Are we looking at some kind of practical reformations there also? Syllabi and the 30 marks. We are looking at 30 marks. I know
30
that.
marks. So,
Can we include some more
okay.
newer practical techniques, some more skill development programs that can be tested?
Okay.
And when you said 5 p.m., my school grounds are free and my school is free, what were you hinting at?
Okay. Let me come back to a good question. So first of all, the ethical practices of individual group, both government and private schools management, the ethical practice, and which is very relevant in the technology space also, because how to use ChatGPT, how to use AI for positive use case, the ethics becomes a key point of discussion. Now with this I am trying to answer your question. So for practical, it is a mere matter of declarations by the CBSE that we are increasing the practical marks. But I don't know, there is a negative sense which act upon in Delhi that, and that is critically after data analytics only I am saying this answer. Many school abruptly, when board gives that facility that open the portal to upload the practical marks, then they becomes Jagat Data. There are many schools are being criticized in the market. It is equally important for the university teachers. They give 20 out of 20, 30 out of 20, and range started from 27.5 to 30. There are many schools whose brackets say, I don't find any wrong because, with them. But question is, whenever we are evaluating the theory paper and we try to analyze with the different metrics, the answer is pathetic. It is just awarding the mark. If it is justified way with projects, with real terms analysis, बच्चों ने मेहनत किया, टीचर का साथ किया है, no matters. There we forget the border line. So here, that's why practical component, project-based activity, many subject में नहीं था, we introduced. And for a cross-check, we are sending one teachers to other school so that they can personally look into. The dynamism is there is also more often, I don't want to explain in a forum. Okay? But the second part of your question, which is very important. So industry and school can run afternoon, and for that matter, it could be short course also. So CBSE under Skill Hub initiative, we are allowing the school to collaborate with the college or local industry to run a short course beyond 2 p.m. And for that matter, you can charge. And there is a special provision under PMKBY 4.0 where you can claim funding from Ministry of Skill Development and Enterprise. Now, the larger objective, if these short courses in future, if these are creditized, then it will act as a micro-credential to take admission in the university, number one. If not in the admission, later on, if university is offering a particular course, maybe on multiculturalism, maybe on tourism, maybe on insurance, if you have already earned 2 credit and that course is 5 credit, if syllabus mapping is there, then the child can be exempted to reappear for these 2 credit. Directly the other component can be earned by a particular child and university certificate. So this kind of pathway, my humble request to all of you, just go through the national credit framework in your leisure time, then it will help you to understand that gravity. And also under PMKBY or otherwise, school is free to collaborate with anyone in the neighborhood and offer courses both for its own student, also from the neighborhood student. Okay?
We have another 5 minutes to close. Any one question?
पीछे से एक भी क्वेश्चन नहीं आया. हाँ?
Since the tagline of is vision to action, so action is very important. So my question to you is, sir, that when you mentioned that collaboration, schools, group of schools and college, now what about the mindset of those teachers? Because as a trainer, what I see, an auxiliary teacher, assistant teacher, and a teacher, he said, oh, you're an assistant teacher. You're not very important. And then also we see that in higher grades, that they don't value that much the pre-primary teacher and grade 1 and 2 teacher. So then when here we are talking about collaboration with school and colleges, where I've seen among college professors, oh, to college padha. That kind of attitude, right? So, what do you do then?
For that, I think it's very much relates to the first question, how to unlearn. Is everything's mindset is starting with your mind. So positioning an individual, I have in between, I try to spell out that at what level you are, that equity is another big issue is trying to address by NEP. I am trying to refer this document only so that it can be internalized. So one individual, whatever maybe his or her structure, but the human being. So is it necessary an individual is always trying to map himself or herself with his or her designation? Happens both in school, college, and university. There is why I am requesting to getting a cohort, because we have seen while CBSE conducting NET long back in 2013-14, we have seen the behavior of good university professor, how they are behaving with even with the CBSE officer, CBSE school wala. This is an attitudinal problem. Overnight it khatam nahi hoga. But when the potential of one is known by the other, then only through collaboration, respect for each other will grow. And that will help us to balance out this problem, your mindset.
Thank you, sir.
Fine? Okay. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir. One last question. Sorry to disturb. You said globalization would impact an education system in every way. But there is a huge gap between the rich and the poor, and urban and the rural areas. So how this globalization would be possible for rural areas as well, in our country especially?
Yeah. See, this is a critical issue. Broadly, the country understood, especially the educationist community understood during the COVID period. And this social strata, both in terms of economical background, the facility, and you look into the dynamisms of higher education worldwide, it is actually the cup of the rich. Cup of rich. I'm repeating. Hardly, again, the bracket of 2 to 3%, so-called from any background, because they bloomed like anything. Nobody can, no environment, no cloud can stop them. So they came up with their own struggle, maybe putting someone as a role model, and they survived, sustained, and glorified. But worldwide, that model is very much, in case of developed nation, as I have mentioned, the best of the best education model is there, but they also compartmentalize they take the other route. Now the solution problem everywhere. I'm repeating the problem again. The answer could be, first of all, the what model work. Now, I'm stressing on hybrid model. Now, a teacher, if PS Nacharam or other school, to their YouTube channel, they upload the lecture note or their video lectures of the teachers and question answer interactions, that would be relevant for some remote districts of Telangana, no matters whether the government schools or private schools. So this could be a social, without anything. The same class, without any infrastructure cost, same class is being recorded and puts in the public domain, and monthly, if needed, interactions can be there with the child in local mother tongue, not in English. I think so many doubt of history, so many doubt of English can be generalized. So this is for the school. Similarly for the college, university. Why I am stressing on collaboration? Because some college or university may have a very good studio. पिछले 3 महीना से खोला ही नहीं है, dust. You go there. आप बोलो मेरा लेक्चर रिकॉर्ड करो. और I am urging you, this is the high time. Every country is facing the teachers. आपका मॉडल देख के तो दूसरे देश जो ग्लोबलाइजेशन के लिए हम हमेशा फिनलैंड क्या कर रहे हैं. आई हैव सीन द फिनिश स्कूल. वहां पे बच्चा ही नहीं है, 150 बच्चा है और कैंपस है 2 एकड़ का. क्या करेगा, क्या करेगा बताइए. वो टाइम नहीं देगा, हम टाइम देंगे. यहाँ पे 43 का जगह पे एडिशनल प्रेशर आता है XYZ से टू टेक मोर एडमिशन. CBSE बोल रहे हैं 40 खत्म, आप लोग 53 में क्लास खत्म करते हो और सरकारी स्कूल्स में 200 भी है. 8 क्या करेगा. बट दिस काइंड ऑफ फैसिलिटी एक्सटेंशन इज हाईली पॉसिबल. अगेन आई एग्री विथ हर, इट्स ए माइंडसेट. आपको एंटरप्रेन्योरियल थिंकिंग आना पड़ेगा. मैनेजमेंट आपको सपोर्ट करेगा, आप छोड़ के नहीं जा रहे हो, उसको सपोर्ट कर रहे हो. पैरेलली यू आर हेल्पिंग द होम. जो पॉइंट आप बोल रहे हो, रूरल इकोनॉमी, रूरल इक्विटी, बिकॉज देयर आर लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च स्टडीज आर देयर. प्रेसिडेंट का बेटा और उसका जो एज ग्रुप का बच्चा पढ़ रहा है और किसी एक सीनियर MNC का MD का बच्चे. why people are actually aiming to send a particular school. आप हैदराबाद शहर में भी देख लेना, 1-2 स्कूल है जहां पे एक स्पेसिफिक कम्युनिटी का मर्सिडीज या अदर सो कॉल ब्रांड का गाड़ी से बच्चा उतरते हैं. They don't want EWS. सरकार कितना भी जबरदस्ती करे, they don't want. वो SCRT एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से हुलिया जारी होता है, तब जाके डोर खुलता है. 2-3 बार पेरेंट्स आके बोलेगा बड़े बच्चे का साथ छोटा बच्चा रह के बिगड़ जाएगा, उस डर से भी विथड्रॉ कर लेते हैं. एंड देयर इज अनदर प्रॉब्लम I have not addressed in my speech, inclusiveness. I am getting a multiple parent request from very good schools. अभी पिछले हफ्ता I got a 2 request from महाराष्ट्र, मुंबई का 2-3 अच्छा स्कूल, एक डिस्लेक्सी और एक कुछ ऑर्थोपेडिक प्रॉब्लम है, बच्चे को एडमिशन. यहाँ ऑल फैसिलिटीज आर देयर. रैंप है, लिफ्ट है, सेपरेट टॉयलेट है. फॉर होम टू फेच द CBSE एफिलिएशन. बट किसके लिए बनाया है? वही बच्चों के लिए, चाहे गरीब बैकग्राउंड चाहे इन्फ्लुएंशियल बैकग्राउंड. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट ए केस फ्रॉम राजस्थान. ए सीनियर ब्यूरोक्रेट हाई कोर्ट में जाने का बाद भी, 2 बार हाई कोर्ट में जाने का बाद CBSE का हेल्प लेके बच्चे को जयपुर का किसी स्कूल में एडमिशन कराया है. ब्यूरोक्रेट का बच्चा और अगर एक रिक्शा पुलार का बच्चा भी जाएगा, इसका हिम्मत है फाइट करने के लिए अमीरों का स्कूल का साथ. सरकारी स्कूल में भी धक्का, उसमें भी फैसिलिटी नहीं है बोल के मना कर देते. फैसिलिटी पूरा है, अंतरात्मा ज्ञान नहीं. एंड अगर 21st सेंचुरी स्किल्स करना है, सबको इकट्ठा एक इक्विटी प्लेटफॉर्म में लाना पड़ेगा. देन डेफिनेटली स्लोली, इट्स ए ग्रेजुअल प्रोसेस. एजुकेशन जैसे बेबी स्टेप का द्वारा. नोबेल लॉरेट का नंबर कितना है अभी? तो आज से अगर एजुकेशन में हम लोग सब मिलके इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, हो सकते 20 इयर्स बाद इंडिया से भी नोबेल लॉरेट और सो कॉल अदर रिसर्च डोमेन में उस तरह से लोग आते रहेंगे. हम कोलैबोरेटिव एफर्ट्स करना पड़ेगा. थैंक यू वेरी मच.